These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Militiaman. Article quote, the Minister of Finance holds a meeting with the general managers of Iraqi government banks. Quote, the government banking sector was able to commit to providing the requirements to support the national economy and to spare it the negative effects of economic repercussions and international conflicts. It looks like she hit the ground running and in an international manner. Nader from the Mideast article quote, according to an official document obtained by Iraq News Agency entitled Reducing the Dollar Exchange Rate, due to the repercussions of the rise in the exchange rate of the dollar against the dinar, which negatively affected the economic situation of the Iraqi family, especially those with low incomes, we, members of the attached list, asked the presidency of the House of Representatives to include a paragraph to reduce the dollar exchange rate and gradually return it to the previous exchange rate. Mark Z via PDK, most likely what Nader is referencing is parliamentary direction to gradually restore the dollar exchange rate document. I believe this article is what Nader is referencing. He is talking about the previous exchange rate in this article. 40 of the parliamentary members have signed this. They want to restore the rate to a previous level. This is where it gets a bit funky. Some think it means the rate would go back to about 1,200 dinar per dollar and not the massive increase we are looking for. If you pay attention to speeches by Sadr and Kazemi, they are talking about going back to the dinar rate's former glory when the rate was around $3 to one dinar. I believe this is the rate they are talking about in the article. That they're putting together the mechanisms to do this should have you all excited. Pimpy says, I can tell you this, once this government is formed, we can pay attention to what Maliki is going to do when it comes to the exchange rate fairly quick. Now, whether it's a big jump or not, nobody knows. Just cross your fingers and we will see what happens. Sampson article quote, in the document, parliamentary signatures to restore the dollar exchange rate, quote, a number of members of the Iraqi Council of Representatives demanded the inclusion of the voting paragraph on restoring the exchange rate of the U.S. dollar against the Iraqi dinar to its previous official rate. Sandy Ingram says good news from the IMF. According to the recently published World Economic Outlook, Iraq's economy is forecast to grow by 9.3% this year, giving it the fastest real GDP growth of all Middle East and Central Asian countries. Frank 26 article quote, economist, 25 trillion dinars is the cost of reducing the dollar exchange rate, unquote. Frank says they talk about changing the exchange rate because they are. All right, Pimpy. Right, Pimpy, people want me to go ahead and predict the rate. Well, we don't do dates and rates here, but if I was a betting man, I'm going to guess that the first step is they reinstate the Iraqi dinar to its former value. So instead of getting 1450 dinar for every dollar, you're going to only be able to get 1190 dinars, and that's good. The lower the number gets, the better it is for us. That means our dinar becomes more valuable against the US dollar. All right, lastly, Militiaman article quote, deputy and upcoming parliamentary hosting of the governor of central bank and the minister of finance regarding the reduction of the exchange rate. The CBI governor and finance minister hosted a meeting on the exchange rate change. The call to get 50 signatures for reduce the exchange rate back to an official rate have been collected. The exchange rate change is on the table within days, apparently. It is the government's job to issue currency. It is the CBI's job to issue an exchange rate with the approval of the finance ministry. The amount of data out today on this matter is awesome in my opinion.